And today I wanna discuss a post, man, that Charleston White just put out there. And it's a part 2 to a video that I posted a few days back, right? And that video was about Charleston White being just a right out fraud, right? But I want to talk again about this post that he made today, taking shots at Woody and Woody's kids. And he said, tell little Woody his son is still dead and that crooked leg little bitch won't ever have kids without her birth defects. Now, for those who don't know what he's referring to, young Woody, man, out of Atlanta, lost his son at birth, right? So he's referring to his dead son in his slander. And then he went a step further and talked about his young daughter who has limitations, and said that her daughter or her kids, if she ever bear them, will have those same defects. Right? And he did it all while wearing a Confederacy rag on his head. And for those who don't know what a Confederacy is, a Confederacy flag is worn mainly or promoted mainly by white supremacists. White supremacists. I tell you, man, that this man is beyond evil. Beyond evil, man. Just think about what it takes to sit up and make fun of a kid. I mean, make fun of any kid, but to make fun of a deceased kid, to make fun of a kid that has some form of a limitation, man, you got to be a vicious, evil spirited person. Yet we're allowing this man to go about his days without any form of consequence. Listen, man, look, something has to be done, and it has to be done fast. I mentioned this in my last episode. But yet you look at the comment section, and I know these are bots mostly, but there's so many people that still see this man as a good guy, because what he does is when there's backlash, he runs to the internet and he puts up some outdated clip showing his activism, or he'll show up on some podcast and talk about some incident in a way that we can relate to, and we say, well, you know what, he's not that bad. He is that bad, man. Right? He's waging war by coming both ways. Listen, the good is so good that it makes you forget about the bad, but the bad is vicious. See, the young people coming up, as I mentioned, they don't see the good, y'all. They only see the bad. This man is pure evil. So my thing is this: his voice continues to grow because the platforms wants to profit off his voice, and they invite him on. So it's time that we target the platforms that give him a voice. Man, if you've listened to this man talk about kids and talk about women, and you allow this man to come onto your platform with hopes that you blow, you're just as evil as he is. You're just as much as a goofy as he is. Dude is a coward, man, and he has no real backbone. He has no. I mean, I'm telling you, man, he's the worst of the worst of the worst. He can't protect himself. He's going to run to law enforcement. But yet he instigates scenarios. He takes shots at people. He's found all over the internet arguing with the same people that he pretended he once advocated for. You can catch him all over the internet arguing with him. I just listened to him tell a young boy, "Fuck your daughter." This young boy wasn't nothing but about 18. He said, "Nigga, fuck your daughter." And then went on to say that he would fuck his daughter. What grown man do you know would say listen, man, that's trifling for a grown man, just any grown man, let alone a grown man that said that he advocated for kids at once upon a time. Men don't act like that, y'all. They just don't. I've never seen it. You take all of the perverted music that we've ever been dealt. You take all of the reality TV. You take all that we've ever encountered. You put all of that together, and it doesn't come close to what this man represents. He's a demonic spirit. I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to hear nothing about the activist work that he did, man. The dude is a fraud. Stop being swindled by his charisma and his charm. Look at the fruit that he bear. The man has no, man, listen, y'all. We got to do something, and we got to do it fast. It has to be a collective effort. I'm getting ready to jump in the comment sections of some of these big podcasts and call them out. I'm getting ready to take their DMs and call them out, man, for for not, the same thing that just happened with Officer Tatum should have been happening with Charleston White. Because Charleston White, as bad as Officer Tatum is, Charleston White is way worse. He's way worse. But they're cut from the same cloth. They come for the same reason, and them and the Hodge brothers as well. I can't leave DL Hughley out of that. Vlad TV, right? Whack one cent. These are all guys operating with the same motive, with the same intention. We got to get to this. We got to get our hands on this, and we got to get our hands on it fast, man, because if we don't, again, it continues to get worse and worse and worse. There is no progress when you have these type of people circulating in society and being given a voice. What he's doing is not entertainment. Man, I'll tell you, man, a few years back, me and my old lady, we go to a comedy show, and I'm sitting in a comedy show, and I at this time, I got a nice little buzz, and we hadn't been there for long at all. I think we got through the first comedian, and the second comedian came out, and his comedy was about a disabled kid. I couldn't laugh, man. I got up and I walked out. I didn't care about the money that I had spent. You're not going to trick me into sitting in this space and making fun or listening to you make fun. I don't see the humor in that. You can mix me with all that, man. I got up and I walked out. And my old lady, she understood it. But it represented, man, an enormous change in me, because as a young person, I didn't take that type of stuff that serious. I haven't always been this serious, right? I love comedy. I like to laugh, but I'm never going to laugh at the expense of real life heartache and pain. That ain't solid, man. And dude ain't solid, right? We need to go for the next 30 days, next 45 days, boycott Charleston White. I'm calling it boycott Charleston White. The boycott on Charleston White is absolutely necessary. It's of great importance. It's essential. It's not something that we can't pursue. It's our calling, right? When we stand up against a man like Charleston White, it shows that our standard isn't to be negotiated. It shows that our boundaries aren't to be compromised. You understand? We allowed this man to do what he wished for way too long, man, and that shows the lack of standard and the lack of boundaries in a culture where you just let anybody do anything. Those days are long gone, man. We can't tolerate that. This man is getting rich while he's making the world a worser place. And I'm not just talking about Charleston White, man. I'm talking about everybody like him. Right? It's time for us to have some backbone, to have some heart, man, to have some courage. I come up in the 80s, man, and I never known people to be this docile. So it's a must, man, that we show up to show our youngsters that listen, man, we don't play games when it comes to this type of matter. You understand? We've come too far as a society. We've seen too many things, and we've read about too many things to allow ourselves to just lay down and again let these type of people just have their way, man, in this world with no opposition at all. No, he needs to know that every time he opens up his mouth and he says something that's vicious, something that's aimed at another person, we're coming after him. And again, I'm not talking about to physically harm him. I'm talking about to shut down anything and every way that he can possibly get money. We can't let that to be a trend, y'all, to where people can, determined by the viciousness of that person will dictate how far they can go in life. So it's not goodness that gets you there. It's being a nasty person. We can't have that. I'm interested to hear what y'all got to say about this specific topic. I started full. I'm empty for now. I love y'all. I'll catch y'all next time.